Posch is an intersex person that has fought for nearly a decade for recognition in the Netherlands. With the change of laws, she plans to move to Germany this year. But what does it actually feel like to live day to day?
The only thing where you really notice it is when you're not really sure what your daily role in life is, whether you want to be more in the feminine role or masculine role or something else. Then it's really confusing because the society does expect you to fit in into something.
Did that feeling change as you went through your life? Were there times you thought you were more male and other times you thought you were more female, or was it just a straight decision?
Um, the way I experienced it was more that I never, well, let's say around the age of 5 or 6 years old, children they start to choose between well, whether they want to be with basically the boys or the girls, and I never made a decision. So for me, I just stayed a child. I never was a boy or a girl. I just stayed in between emotionally during puberty as well. It wasn't until 2005 when I realized that something was going on and that I realized that I had never made that decision. That's when I actually realized that I had been living, well, I'd never chosen anything and I just postponed that decision of what kind of role I want to fit into. Dutch medical specialists still do not acknowledge that I'm actually intersex. I actually had to go to Germany for that.
So today, we now know Germany is the first European country to allow newborn babies to be registered as neither male or female. How significant do you think this is?
It's incredibly significant. I mean, people like me and many other intersex people I've spoken to over the years, many of whom have been the victim of forced sex assignments. It means the world really. I mean, for so many, they would have, for if they were born and they had been given that third gender, basically neither male nor female, and they would have been allowed to pick their own gender when they were old enough. That would have made their lives so much better, so much happier. So in that sense, it's just best thing ever. Because the thing is really that gender is a personal thing. I mean, that's something you can see with transgenders. We allow people to change genders. So why the hell would we force a gender upon an infant? Doesn't make sense. So I think this is a perfect choice.
If you were to sort of put yourself into a situation where your parents had been offered that choice early on, when you were born, how do you think your life would have been different?
I count myself extremely lucky that when I was born, that the female side I have was not visible. Otherwise, I would probably have lost it. And I actually spoke to my mother about this, and she said that she would probably have gone along with whatever the doctor would have said. So I I fear that if something would have a choice would have been made there, I would have been far less happy right now because it would probably have been the wrong choice.
Sure, there are lawmakers that, and commentators in Germany that are worried that allowing a third category of gender is going to place immense pressure on children that are growing up.
Well, first of all, children don't care. It's really the children just don't care. That's what you notice with children in general. Many of the preconceptions children end up with about the other gender and such, they all get it from their parents. So the children themselves, they do not care what gender the other child is. They just don't care. That's something they're being taught. So in that respect, the problem is not with the children, but it's with the adults who still have to learn that gender is just a detail.
Are you surprised that Germany has become the first European country to do this? Is this what you expected? Obviously, you're from the Netherlands, but would you have seen it coming from any other country first when you originally were thinking about this all those years ago?
It doesn't surprise me really. I mean, like I said, the first time I went to Germany for medical examinations was in 2007. I noticed immediately how easygoing they are about things like this. Nobody determines about it. You just get the results. And I mean, even to the point that even before this news came out, I already had plans to move to Germany. This year I'll be permanently moving from Netherlands to Germany because, well, I've got a job there, but also because I can get all the final surgeries there I need. And it's a far more tolerant and open society. So, no, in that regard, it doesn't surprise me at all that Germany is the first European country to do this.
And do you think this, now that Germany has finally sort of opened the floodgates to Europe on this issue, do you think that it could be more to come, more countries?
I really hope so. I think that most changes will come in the countries which are the least Christianized, because, for example, the Netherlands is really Calvinistic, has a strong Christian, extremist almost background. So they won't change very quickly, but you can see, for example, Austria, France, of course, they will change pretty quickly with other countries to follow. I think it will happen eventually.